Hey pups, RP here, and oh boy, this movie is, well, interesting? Let's talk about it. A Christmas Horror Story was released in theaters, mostly in Canada, on October 23rd, 2015, and was directed by Stephen Hombun, Brett Sullivan, and Grant Harvey. And you can find the movie on streaming services like Roku Premium subscriptions and Shudder, or if you're lucky, free to watch online. The movie stars William Shatner, and Zoe DeGrand Manson. I am so sorry if I mispronounced the last name. I have tried several times to pronounce it right. Please forgive me. As an anthology horror film, like Michael Daughtry's Trick or Treat, and also fun fact, Krampus was released the same year as A Christmas Horror Story. Now, I'm kind of picky when it comes to Christmas horror flicks. Krampus and Black Xmas are two of my favorites, and are the only ones I watch during the holidays. I sadly don't count Gremlins because I'm a weirdo. Oh, and before we get into it, spoilers ahead. Now I'm going to quickly go through these stories as quickly and simplify them as best I can. A majority of the story, William Shatner is a radio host of the town of Bailey Downs throughout the three main stories. And for some reason, the weatherman named Stormin' Norman has a deep, dark, blackened hatred for Christmas. For whatever fucked up reason. It's never really specified. At least for me. But Will guides us throughout the movie, and the movie goes on with the stories. Now then, let's get into the four stories. Basically, the first story involves Santa getting ready for Christmas, and all of his elves are affected by some dark force and are turned into zombies. So Santa goes all badass and kills these elf zombies. And if you're a huge Walking Dead fan, and like extreme zombie gore and fast-moving zombies, then this movie is for you. Because it gets really gory and really freaking bloody. Yeah. The second story involves a family whose son goes missing in a tree. They find the son acts super weird. The son turns out the dad mostly. Turns out the son was kidnapped into the tree and a changeling took the kid's place. Changeling kills the dad and the mom, now widowed. Brings the changeling back to wherever it came from and end up finding the real son and they go home. The next story deals with Krampus and the family visiting a relative of the dad. End up summoning Krampus. It was mostly the son's fault for being a little shit and breaking the Krampus statue. Later that night, the family ends up getting stuck in snow and chased down and kidnapped by Krampus. Now, the movie Krampus was like the Krampus story from A Christmas Horror Story. I don't think I'd like it as much, to be honest. Later, the daughter is the only survivor and ends up going back to the great aunt's house. And turns out she's a Krampus now and punishes the aunt for being naughty. Dun dun dun! The next story involves a group of kids investigating a murder mystery at the school that happened the year before. Mostly the lower part, and they end up getting locked in, and the girl ends up getting, let's be PG-13 here and say, frisky with one of the other boys, because she's possessed by a ghost, and gets really weird with this stuff. Turns out the murders were caused by a ghost, who lost her baby while birth-giving during the Christmas season, and maybe the ghost nuns may or may not have murdered her and the baby because she sinned with the anti-Mary with the Antichrist! Yeah, I'm weird. The ghost mama then kills off the boys and lets the girl live, with her being possibly pregnant with the baby the ghost mama lost. Yeah. Back to the Santa story. There's a mini fight between him and Krampus, and it turns out Norman was the zombie hunting Santa, and he wasn't killing zombies. He was going cereal on the people working at the mall, and were volunteering with a donation. Yeah. Anyway, do I love or hate this movie? Okay, when I first heard about this movie, I watched it a few times and, well, I actually kind of liked it. Not as much as Krampus, though. The stories and various plot twists with them all are actually pretty cool. And this movie is what inspired one of my novel projects. Three of the main inspirations were this movie, Krampus, and Call of the Jersey Devil by Aurelia Voltaire. I actually kind of like the Santa zombie story much more than the other stories. Plus, William Shatner guiding us through the story was a nice touch. Now, if the movie was about a zombie hunting Santa, and only about that, and he and Krampus got into a huge ass fight in the end with Santa coming on top, I would watch the hell out of this movie. Now, the movie is actually pretty good. It's not at the top of my favorite Christmas horror films, like Krampus and Black Xmas, but it's close. So, being fair, I'm giving this movie a decent 7.5 out of 10. Not the worst I've seen, pretty epic, though I feel like the Santa vs. Zombies story really took it for me. I only wish it didn't involve the weather dude going batshit crazy on people and going on a holiday murder spree. That being said, I hope you like this video. Leave your opinions and thoughts on this movie in the comments below. And that being said, I'll see you in the next one, pups. Cue the outro. RP is out. Peace.